So I forgot to mention the last video. I forgot to mention about the to actually go into depth about the actual card and what actually means when you're actually being pulled. So I want to cover that in this video. So I've added two additional artwork, and they were actually from my beginner years. So like they were actually from the years that where I was not actually artist. I guess as soon as I started to draw, I was able to call myself an artist, but I didn't feel that way back then. Um, and and I didn't think, and I never thought I would actually be able to use them ever again because I thought I was just done for like once only. And was just, and if you know me, then you would know that I'm a big fan of drawing nature. Like I would just put a lot of green, a lot of trees, and a lot of bushes. But so I want to touch on pulling. When you actually feel being wrapped, so for example, it's actually a good thing that you have few more things on your list to do. For example, you have groceries to do, you have the dishes to wash, and you have things to cook, and you actually have things that you need to do that which are quite necessities, and then you on top of that you have other responsibilities, and they're the good things that you can do when they're manageable. It's really good. So I want to touch based on like tell you a bit, share a bit story about what actually happened to experience in the last 2 days. So I would have thought making decisions at this age and at this level of experience that for me making decisions is just something so easy. I'm so used to it. But what I didn't know was what I didn't know was I was actually going through grieving. So I was going through some kind of loss, and I think the loss wasn't something like I lost some life or I lost someone. It was actually, I think what I actually lost was I lost a little bit of identity. So I lost a little bit of my old self, and I was actually saying goodbye to the old self, that the person that I used to be, like not so much the person that I am, but the person that I used to be, some of the thought patterns and some of the mindset that I had when I was younger. Maybe not even younger, maybe just the person that I had, the mindset that I had like 2 days ago, 3 days ago. But I was saying goodbye to it. And I didn't realize that I was going through grieving, that I wasn't able to make a decision because I was just I wasn't in pain. I wasn't like experiencing heart pains, but I was actually experiencing what I would call a heaviness in my heart. So if somebody were talking to me, I would probably just nod or just say, but I wouldn't be able to have a flowing conversation with them because the things I want logically want to say and the things that I was able to say through my chest and my lungs were different. I'm not saying that I couldn't be able to articulate, but I just didn't feel like if I was trying to articulate, there would be evidence that people would see me crying, because that's kind of like how grieving works. You feel it, and then when you try to say it, it will come out, because as soon as you try to move the chest energy, the grievingness, like the sadness, would actually come up. And that's why when people are sad, they don't want to speak, because when they speak, it's gonna be like pretty much pouring of ocean, like, and people are probably not as comfortable to, especially when they know they will cry, and they would probably not be comfortable actually putting themselves being seen as they crying. But I think we all know that we are about to cry because we can feel how heavy our chest is, and if we try to move it by speaking, then it will come up. But you should I certainly encourage anybody to do it. If they are comfortable being themselves, take a hot bath, like water helps to move them emotion. And back to this pulling. The reason I just touched on why I wasn't able to make decisions as sharp as I normally would. It's because I was going through grieving. And what actually feels like when I was going through grieving and didn't want to make decisions, I just didn't want to make decisions, and I would just feel like, oh, can something just wrap around me and just take my problem away? I know the problem wouldn't go away because the problem is attached to me, but it actually felt a level of comfort because I knew the things were wrapping around me, especially around my chest area around me. I actually felt like there are things that I could go to, but I'm just not going to them because I don't feel as good. But if I didn't have anything to go to, I would probably feel like, oh, the world doesn't need me. I don't have a purpose here. Maybe that's the alternative thought I would have. But on the same token, I have those things I need to do, but I don't want to do them because I was going through grieving, but I didn't know I was going through grieving. So I thought what would have happened if I stayed that way for more than 3 months. And I think the picture, like this art on the bottom the bottom corner where the person is cutting and then the tree is wrapping them. That's what it would feel like. If I was staying in that situation where I just couldn't, and I just literally don't want to make a decision, I would just be like, hey tree, can you hold me? Because you holding me is better than me holding myself, because I don't want to even hold myself anymore. I don't want to make a decision. And then over time, because I'm not making decisions, I'm not moving, and eventually everything will wrap around me and I will go into a cocoon phase, which is this picture down here. But never worry though. When you're actually going through cocoon phase, is also good too, because then you can go into inner reflection. And I actually have another card for this, which is called Mother. It actually talks about inner reflection. So if you're going through fetus stage, what person would you want to be when you come out of it? Because remember, butterfly do not go into cocoon phase to permanently stay there and just become something that hangs on the tree. Butterfly go into cocoon to transform, to become a different version of themselves. Remember that not because life is ongoing. So as long as you're still alive, things will change for you. It doesn't matter how difficult it looks from the outside, how hard it is to move afterwards. Sure, after you've given your power away, and trying to regain power, it's really difficult because you haven't made a decision for so long, maybe 3 months or even 3 years, you haven't made a decision for yourself. And trying to actually make a decision for yourself is actually really, really difficult. You have to respect that. And you have to forgive yourself. It's not a problem that you couldn't make a decision 5 years ago because you were going through such a grieving phase. You just couldn't make decisions, and you just, maybe you're even blaming yourself. But that doesn't matter. We're about moving forward. We're about moving forward. So when we go through cocoon phase, we're gathering energy. We will definitely break through. It's just a matter of when. Have faith and keep moving forward. The best is yet to come. Trust it. And you can do it. Bye now.